You know, one of the things that I've done since the beginning, I've always taken any opportunity that presented myself to figure out a way to capitalize on that and make myself a better person and to make myself more competent, more able. And what that's done is that's put me in the right place at the right time on many occasions. Meaning doors would open up only because I had been paying my dues. I had been working on mastering my movements and bust up my knuckles and work for almost nothing just so that I could acquire the skill and be in the right place at the right time when that window of opportunity opened. My name is Steve Quillian. Sometimes I go as the general of the artisan army, which is kind of fun. I was born and raised in San Antonio, and I grew up in the trades, starting with foundation repair. I learned high-end finish carpentry and how to frame houses and things like that, and eventually moved to Tampa because my wife is from Tampa, and started knocking doors, finding work to do, and eventually I found a house to flip, and it had these old windows in it, and I started fixing up the windows. I bought some tools, and I bought some bits and router bits and shapers and this type of stuff, and just went to town experimenting, and pretty soon, I started, making windows. I guess the first ones were kind of rough, but after a while, you start to figure it out, and really the rest is history. It just kind of snowballed from there. I guess like any skill in any discipline, the first thing you do is you have to master a movement. And you have to be intentional about, adding value to yourself. Because every movement that you master becomes yours. You master a movement, you master a sequence of movements. And you're not going to be good at every movement. And some of those movements will point out things that you have to correct about yourself, and you have to get through that. As artisans, that's kind of what we do, right? We are always mastering something. Because you got to spend the time doing something anyway, you might as well be mastering something. What's the alternative? The alternative is to do nothing, right? So you might as well be working on something to add value to yourself, so that whether you're here or whether you're there, you're adding something significant to our culture and to the to who would be your clients and the other people out there. Window making for me is, it's a romance, but it's also become a vehicle for self-expression. You have these people with these old school windows, in these old houses. Everybody needs their windows worked on, but it's really, really nice to take something that's not just like a baseboard or a crown molding or something like that, but when you're building something functional that people will actually use, they get a lot of positive emotion out of it. I get a lot of positive emotion out of providing that for them. So that's really the romance for me in window making. It's just such a cool thing. It's got woodworking, it's got engineering, it's got painting in it, it's just so many aspects to the artistic nature of it. It's just a really cool way to express myself. I feel really fortunate that I get to do it.